what's happening. The few that show up early. For those that are showing up early, we are still in countdown mode. Reason there's no music playing, got some little glitches going on here with the sound. We'll get it fixed here in a second. Coming through. Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Pre-stream means the show will run a little bit over in the live channel today, but that's life. Hello. Let's see what we got here. Mine's testing okay. Everything at my end tests good. I need you to get yours working there, Marcus. Oh, he's gone. Gone bye-bye. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, he hung up. Uh-oh. Might not have him. He might be gone. Maybe he's reconnecting. Okay, well, tell you what, folks, because we're still in pre-stream and we're about to go live and we're just having some fun here and getting everything rocking and rolling, I'm going to pop in the music to get us a rolling forward. I'll have to work on some other stuff. The joys of getting a guest to come with me. Coming for the ride. Oh yeah. Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In search for glory, going with them sacred rules of old, they went missing. Still stumbling down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Huh, he disappeared and he hasn't come back. Not saying they're right or wrong. I ain't no Texan dancer. Well, move it right along. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Chunky and the chigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Glory gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49.
Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, Joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing
There we go.
fine.
Having some issues. Yeah. And I missed it. Oh well, that makes for a challenging show. I didn't nail it today, but that's all right. All right, got nobody online anyway. No viewers, nothing. It is a dead quiet. All right, let's flip it on over. I did have a guest, lost him. We had troubles connecting on Discord, and not sure. I had him for a minute, and then it was gone. Now he's gone, so I'm not sure what's occurred there. We'll give it another try in another week, but it is what it is, folks. The joys of technology. Sometimes it works beautifully, other times not so beautifully. So that being said, what we're going to do, yes, me, the little mouse in my pocket, see a little, oh, you can't see it, the camera's got the wrong angle. Oh, well, you gotta remember, I got tequila for the end. Remember the, hey, that's cool. Look at the tequila, right through the, that's cool. All right. Hey, Hemdian, how you doing? Wow, that's weird. It's not showing me my concurrent viewers on my tab here today. That's bizarre. Oh well, so be it. All right, let's get this rocking and rolling. I've lost my special guest, and oh wait, he's back again. Let's see if I can connect him real quick before I get started. Let's give it a shot. It's always worth a shot. See if he answers. Technology. The joys of technology. Sometimes it works very, very well. I think I'm going to earn my tequila shot today. Nope. He's not picking up the call. Discord's a little weird. I don't know if anyone's ever used it. I'm only beginning to figure out how it works. I'm going to have to look into, I heard about a new system out there. It cost me a little bit to have guests on the show, so I might look into that. And 3 others. Wow, we got 3 on the line today, but for some reason my studio mix is not showing it. Let's reload the screen, see what happens. Come on, bring me up the stream. Before I get started on the show, I got to make sure everything's working here. So this is just one of those days where the technology is being a little more challenging than usual. Now, it says I've got a good stream going. Now I can't get my stream to load up in there. Live events. Let's pop into the live events and see what we got. No, dismiss that, dismiss that, manage. Come on, there we go, manage. There we go, we want that one there. Hey, it now says I have 4 viewers. There we go, now it's working. Okay, all right. Now I've got things sort of working the way they're supposed to. We gotta get one more item fixed here. Because for some reason, Mercury hasn't gone retrograde yet. It's getting there. All right, there we go. All right. Since I can't seem to find my, oh, hang on, answer the call. There we go. Can you hear me this time?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can, and we are live streaming. We are live streaming to YouTube at the moment, just so you know.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Don. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. You know, I had to start the show, but I helped trying to get back to you. All right. So briefly, I'll bring you in just after I give my monologue.
All right.
All right. So you'll have to sit tight for a minute. We don't have a whole lot to cover over things. And it's basically, I get my monologue out and everyone gets a little inside baseball that listens to the pre-stream, which is unusual for them. And then we start talking about the news and on into the pins. Okay, Marcus?
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Hey, not your problem, man.
man.
It's technology, man. It's a technology day. You were having troubles there. I was actually having troubles with my stream. So it's all good. But it's about time to get this thing rocking and rolling. So let's get the show on the road. All right, let's wind this puppy up. After the storm, it's episode 461 with plugins for merging from data to PDFs, controlling your world, exporting to PDFs, stopping the XML-RPC, and ClassicPress Options, all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the Brewery Overlook in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I'm John Overall, and I have the usual great show for you today. But of course, right off the top, according to the Mueller Report, you are listening to WP Plugins A to Z, the best ClassicPress WordPress podcast in the universe. And a big thank you out there to the No Agenda Show for their contributions of ideas and the occasional sound clip.
Squirrel!
And a big shout out to Darren O, who does the pre-show for the No Agenda Show, and his music is especially great for helping me focus on show days. Okay, this is a value for value show, and I look forward to everyone providing some value back, and you can do that by getting out there first off and hitting everyone in the mouth, telling them about the show, spread the word about WP Plugins A to Z. You can catch it live every Thursday at noon Pacific time, and over there on my YouTube channel, or subscribe to the newsletter for more weekly information that is put out. Okay, this is, as I said, episode 461, and it's been quite a week here with little feedback from you, the producers of the show. While slow weeks are bound to happen, and I need your support to keep this show going and to help keep the sword of Damocles from snapping the thread that is attached to it. Keep the feedback coming. This is episode 20 of 52 episodes for 2020. We are 20 weeks into 2020 and 9 weeks into the Rona. Life is starting to return to normal in many places, including here in BC, where businesses have started opening this week, including those that need to go get their haircut. You know, like me, but I'm not getting a haircut. I'm growing it right out. You know, lots of things are happening. The changes are coming. We are almost halfway into this year of insanity. And I have seen, this is pretty much the most insanity I've seen in my lifetime. I had thought the social justice warriors we'd been dealing with for the last few years were the worst of things, but that doesn't seem to hold any candle to the Karens we're dealing with now. They have definitely proved me wrong that we can definitely jump from the frying pan right into the fire. These are indeed strange times to be alive, and I'm doing what I can to prepare my kids and grandkids for what is coming. Okay, one of the things you can do, though, is relax, take a breath, go for a walk, build yourself a garden, realize that things have changed, but nothing has changed. You can save your sanity and your amygdala and find out why you're not going to die. Go listen to the No Agenda Show for more information on that. And today, though, I do have a special guest. Anyone who listens to the pre-stream, if you don't hear the pre-stream, you're listening to the podcast itself, go watch the YouTube version of it. It's a pretty good pre-stream today. But today I have a special guest who hails from a part of the country where I spent the vast majority of my childhood. He's from California, Southern California. He's an honorable U.S. Navy vet and likes to do some developing. He's from the San Diego County area. He's the developer of a couple of the great plugins we have today. And so joining me is Marcus Boyd. Welcome to the show, Marcus. I still have you, right? Uh-oh. Yay for technology. Says I'm still connected to him. I bet you're using the I bet you're connecting to it through the, I'm going to have to specify to folks they can't connect through their browser. through the Discord browser. They got to use the app or the program for Discord. Oh, it looks like you're muted. Are you I just see you briefly. It said you were muted. Tried to say something there, Marcus, and it came up as a red microphone. Uh-oh. No, he's not muted. At least not on my end. Huh. I'm going to have to look into further stuff on Discord to see if I can get it to work. All right, Marcus. Fantastic intro for you. Kind of happened to me last week, too, I believe, when I introed somebody. All right, I need a time code for this because I'm going to have to trim my show a little bit when I get to the regular show. Time code is 1720. We'll fix that in post. I don't usually do fixes in post, but in this particular case I will, because this will interfere with the regular show going out to the podcast feed. And for some reason you're still showing up with a bad microphone there, Marcus. Let's see. Nope, unmute, disable. I've got you on mute. There you go. You had it for a second. User volume. Boost it up. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I may have to do yeah, technology is great, Hamdian. I may have to continue on with the show, and hopefully Marcus can join me by the time I get to my plugins.
How about now?
There we go. Had you for a moment.
Okay. How about now?
There you go.
You got me now?
Got you now.
So sorry. I have.
Oh, you're fading. You pop in and out real quick though.
Oh wow. How about now?
There it is, and then it cuts short in the middle of a sentence.
Interesting.
Are you using the browser for this?
No, I'm using the app on my
On your what?
app.
Okay. Wi-Fi maybe? Yeah, it cuts right out for some reason. I don't know if you can hear me through all this. We're in the US
Hey,
West.
John.
There you are.
Okay, I switched Wi-Fi connections. How about that?
That's much better.
Oh my gosh, I apologize.
That's
Never know what the problem is these days.
Yeah, well, welcome to technology.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I just gave a fantastic intro for you, and that's where it fell on my face. But we'll trim that up for the podcast that gets edited out. Only those listening to the live stream or listening to the YouTube version later get to hear all this.
Okay.
All right, so as I gave you the great intro, I'll pick it up right after I gave the intro. So joining me today is Marcus Boyd. Welcome to the show, Marcus.
Hi, John. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Always glad to have folks join me for the show. Looking forward to having some of those. Now, before we go much further into it, I've got the usual pieces of news I cover up. After I've got the news covered up here, we'll be jumping into donor support and then we get into the plugins. So, what have I got here this week here? WordPress news. There's really not a lot in WordPress news. It's been a quiet week for me this week. My mind has been elsewhere. I've been working on trying to get work done and accomplished. And I only have a couple of short pieces of news today. No snappy snippet against WordPress this week. But the first item I do have for you in the world of WordPress news is Envato launched a template kit marketplace for Elementor. And for those of you that are Elementor users, this could be an interesting thing to look into. They dropped a massive library of template kits for Elementor. And you can get them over at Envato, and it looks to be an interesting thing. And it looks like Elementor is betting on the fact that though Gutenberg is taking over the development of WordPress or the page building of WordPress, they're betting on that Elementor is still going to maintain a large chunk of that audience, which is probably going to be accurate. So if you're building an Elementor and you're looking for template kits, you want to go check this out. It's a really interesting article. It talks about it, gives you links to Elementor sites and all of that stuff there. Okay, and I do have another one, and this is a really useful one for when you have clients or other people that ask you, hey, do you got any WordPress tutorials, or can you direct me to some? I've had a lot of questions like that in the last couple of months. And I kept telling them I don't have any specific. Go to YouTube and look them up. And there's a lot of stuff out there. In fact, I have a lot of stuff out there from back in the day, and most of what I did is now out of date and no longer relevant. Yep, you're still there. And this one here, the WordPress tutorials, is from iThemes, and they've put out a lot of recent relevant videos on WordPress tutorials. So you'll want to direct people to this link. It could be very helpful and save you some grief of trying to deal with it. The final little bit of piece of news I've got this week is the Elementor attacks that happened a couple of weeks ago, and what caused it, and how the hackers combined a couple of different vulnerabilities, one from Elementor and one from Ultimate Add-ons from Elementor. And it's a really good article, it's a really good read, and it helps you understand a bit about what goes on in the minds of the hackers and what they're looking at. Good article, good information, and if you're using Elementor or Ultimate add-ons for Elementor and you haven't updated yet, get on it because they are massively vulnerable. So go check that article out and the information. Other than that, that's all I really got for news this week. So this show, of course, is not going to be any good without you, the producers out there, the people that listen to the show, that support the show. Without you guys, this show is going to go away. That's all that's going to happen. I can't do it by myself forever. I've been doing it by myself for a couple of years now. Previous to that, I had a co-host. His name was Marcus also, and he was with me for several years. And before that, I was doing it by myself. But we've always had sporadic support with the show, and I look forward to people providing more support. I've seen more and more support happening this year, but keep it coming, folks. We need some support, and how you can do that is there's many things that help this show out. One of them is the artwork. Every week, I change the artwork up. I was doing it myself for a while. I'm now getting more and more people supplying me different types of artwork to help the artwork for the show change with every episode. It really improves it, makes it look good. This week, the artwork comes from Danielle Paez, and it's a really cool piece of artwork. I like what she's done with the computer case and my logos and the beach and the sand and the colors. This is just really cool. I'd like to see more of this kind of artwork coming into the show. A little bit more abstract, a little bit different. Eventually, we get enough of it, people can start basing their artwork on what they think I might build a theme around for the show. I'm working at building themes to the show. So thank you, Danielle. I really greatly appreciate it. Great piece of art. And if you want the sneak preview before I post the show, check out the YouTube video, and it should be showcasing up on the YouTube right now. Okay, so the executive producers, I don't have any executive producers. Those are the people that come in with $50 or more and a donation in a week. So they get a show note read out. They get executive producer credits that are good wherever credits are valid. So I look forward to those. I would like to thank those that have come in with small donations under $50, the little bits that come as a weekly or monthly donation through Patreon. They do help this show out. They don't put any money in my pocket, but they help defray the cost of doing the show. So thank you very much to those folks. And a big thank you to those who have hired me because of listening to the podcast. That is as good as donating to this show. So thank you very much to everyone out there. You can support the show first off by...
We just need cash. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
Absolutely. Just send cash. I can always use that. Or you can submit artwork at the WP Plugins Art Generator, or submit articles, news, and information to the show through the contact page. Submit plugin suggestions for reviews. You don't even have to be the plugin author to send the suggestions. Create online monthly donations over at Patreon or anything I haven't thought about. Okay, this is where we go. It's time to dive into the meat and potatoes of the show. So let's head that direction. All right, well, first off, we have ClassicPress Options. You still with me, Marcus?
I sure am. Thank you.
Excellent. So before I dive into that, let me ask you a quick question. What is your opinion on ClassicPress, and what do you think about it? Because I've been covering ClassicPress since, well, God, I guess it's been almost over a year. Over a year now, I've been added ClassicPress to it since they first came out.
I love the idea that somebody took the initiative to fork WordPress. I think competition is critical in any arena. And I think something closer to WordPress in competition, separate of Joomla and the other platforms, I think is necessary. And with the change to Gutenberg, it was definitely the right time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We intend to stay with both ClassicPress and traditional WordPress. And I'm all for competition. I own a insurance agency too, and I happen to be located in a place where there are 4 other insurance agencies, and you would think that'd be too many in one spot, but it's not. People we end up selling a lot more being together like that.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I always like to ask because I've been covering it for a while, and my coverage of it goes up and down depending on the week. They've been moving forward nice and steadily, and I do have some information on ClassicPress this week. A couple of new items that I've picked up, and I've probably been sitting on for a while, and I forgot I had them. First off, what I've got is there's a ClassicPress migration plugin. And this, of course, has been around since the initiation of ClassicPress. It's the plugin you use when you need to migrate out of WordPress. If you're wanting to migrate out of WordPress, nice and simple, you install this plugin, hit a few buttons, it converts the necessary files from WordPress over to ClassicPress, and if your plugins will work with ClassicPress, you're ready to go. I remember seeing something that they added something to tell you if there were plugins that they thought might not work, because they are starting to hit that fork in the road where plugins that work with WordPress don't work with ClassicPress. And that's because ClassicPress is still compatible only with WordPress version 4.9 or below. 5 and above, if a website or a plugin only supports WordPress 5 or better, it will not work with ClassicPress. So anyway, this is a nice little plugin. This is what I've used to convert a couple of sites. Go check it out. It's a great little plugin. Okay, the next one I've got here for you, this is a ClassicPress specific plugin. And it is a fork of SEO or rank math SEO. And somebody forked it out, and this is a plugin that is supported by ClassicPress itself. And this is a really neat thing that's happening. ClassicPress is slowly starting to build out more and more plugins. And I am using rank math on some of my sites now. I've been moving myself away from Yoast, and rank math I found to be a little bit better. If you haven't used it and you're looking to change, you might want to check this out. Or if you're building something new, you might want to check this one out too. So what else have I got in ClassicPress? Well, I discovered that this week here in ClassicPress, they have added 3 more plugins to the plugins built for ClassicPress list. This is a list maintained over at the ClassicPress.net forums by Code Potent, and it has gone from 52 to 55 plugins. Now, when I first started covering this, they only had 37. So it is moving forward, and that's a positive note that more and more plugins are being developed. It'll be a lot like I think WordPress was when they hit a critical mass, is when it will suddenly leap forward, and that's what they're working towards right now. So ClassicPress is still relevant, and it still works very nicely. I have it actually running. The WP Plugins A-Z site is run fully on ClassicPress, so you can see a site that does actually use it. And again, like Marcus said, I'm stuck in both worlds, and I probably will be for quite some time, at least 2 or 3 more years, and then I have to make a decision, I think, because they will separate pretty far apart in the next 2 or 3 years. So, and that brings us up to the WordPress plugins, and we're going to start this one with you, Marcus. You get to bring forward your first one.
All right. Pro to PDF, I think, is my first one.
Yep.
That is a fantastic plugin that I created going on 6 years now. I did it. I hope the bird in the background's not too loud.
We'll live.
Hold on, just I created it about 6 years ago to facilitate doing more business in a small office with less people and more automated. So it only worked with Formidable Pro, and it created PDF dynamic PDF documents based on the input from the user in Formidable.
Okay. And so does it only work with Formidable at the moment, or does it work with other form plugins?
Pro to PDF is limited to Formidable, and it won't be breaking out of that
Okay.
that confine. We did create E to PDF. It's subsidiary. It is an amazing plugin. It is
Okay. Well, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one after a minute. That one's still on the list. So let me ask you a quick question. Like, I'd never seen Formidable Pro to PDF, probably because I don't use Formidable Forms. And for those that do, I know I know Formidable is a pretty popular form plugin. That's way too many forms in one word, in one sentence.
It's growing in popularity, definitely. Its ability to put out views much easier than many of the other plugins.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a great plugin. So of course you wrote it. Why not? What ranking? Well, what ranking does it have? It has over at WordPress.org. It has a 4.5 ranking, but I guess you can tag it right up to a 5 dragon rating. Off you go. There you go. You got a nice dragon roar for it.
Right.
All right, so it does look like an interesting plugin, and it does look like a great one to convert your forms to PDFs. And you said it maps the different fields. Does it? How do you get in there and map them?
Right. So there's a screen we call the field map layout, and there's 2 ways to do it. You can either have it do it automatically, which is a really cool feature. If you name the PDF fields the same as the Formidable either field name or field ID or the field key, then the plugin will, when you upload the PDF, the plugin will automatically map the fields. Now, checkboxes and radio buttons are somewhat unique, so you have to kind of go in there and tweak those.
Oh, okay.
But once the field map is created either automatically or manually just by going into the field map and hitting next field map, and you just select one field in the Formidable form, another field in the PDF form, and then that maps it. And there's some options to format if you've got some numbers or want to capitalize everything, or the paid version. There's a freemium. It's a freemium, so use available in the WordPress
Excellent.
plugin repository.
Excellent. Well, okay, folks, make sure you get out there and check this one out, or if you're using Formidable, this might be a plugin to help you out. Okay, so what I've got for you today is called Advanced Access Manager. And this one I discovered while doing a site audit for a client site, checking them all out. It was a new client, and I always look to see what plugins they got during the site audit and see, hey, which ones are kind of cool I could bring over to my show. And I'd never seen this one, which kind of wish I had a long time ago. What Advanced Access Manager does for you is it's a pretty powerful tool that allows you to get in there and manage all aspects of access to your WordPress install. You can manage the access to the content for any role, individual user, visitors, define access to all post pages, custom post types, categories, custom taxonomies, and more. Almost all the tools they have available for this come with the free version of the plugin. The only tool I saw that was a premium version was to manage manage access via IP address. There's probably others that they have, but on the whole, the amount of stuff they give give to you that is free with this plugin, along with how they work hard to protect privacy of this plugin by limiting its doesn't give callbacks. It only accesses specific areas to manage and do the things. A really great looking plugin. If you're looking for something to manage the access throughout your website that's not a membership system, this might be a plugin for you to look into. So go check out Advanced Access Manager, and I give it a 5-dragon rating. There we go. All right, so let's roll on into your next plugin you've got for us, Marcus. What is it?
That is E2PDF. Now, that is our star plugin. It does everything that PRO2PDF did with Formidable Forms, but we've added in not only Formidable Forms, but Caldera Forms, Divi Contact Forms, Forminator, and Gravity Forms. Even the WordPress default fields are able to be merged. We're just finishing up WooCommerce fields, and then we'll move on to all the rest of the plugins.
Very
It's
nice.
the most universal PDF plugin available for WordPress ever.
Nice. This is one that I'll probably be checking out because I do use Gravity Forms.
What a lot of people don't know, let me give you a tidbit that I don't think anybody or very few people can find in there, but haven't figured out how to use it. You can upload a PDF to it and have your form, your web form, automatically generated.
Seriously?
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
And
that's
check this out. Check this out. If you go into your PDF, your PDF form. So if it's a PDF form, in my case, I was in insurance. We have some that have one of them has over 700 fields. And I went in and I put in the name that I wanted the field to be in Formidable. I'm sorry, Formidable.
Yeah.
But you can also do it with Caldera and Gravity. But I put what the field names that I wanted it to be, and I uploaded it. It took 2.7 seconds.
Wow.
To create a web form with 700 fields.
Holy, now there's a time saver for you.
There's no better time saver. Now it's not foolproof. There is an issue with radio fields and drop downs and checkboxes. You've got to go in there and individually name those options. But
even if you have to go through and do that, that's still faster than creating every single field by hand.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And when there aren't those factors, it's instant.
Nice. Okay, now you got me. I'm going to have to try this one on my next one. I'll give that one a shot for sure. So, of course, what are you going to rate this one at?
Come on, this is a 5.
That's absolutely. There you go. That's definitely a 5-dragon rating. All righty. Yeah, okay, folks, and there's one that's not only a great-looking plugin, but one that'll save you time if you're building forms from already pre-existing PDF documents, and that happens a lot. I've had to do that a lot. Here's the document. I need a form. Oh, great. Manually build it. But if you can import it, oh, sweet. That would just save tons of time.
More now than ever with COVID. It's people are working from home and the need to do that.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a triple in usage of both PRO2PDF and E2PDF. So the demand is high, but its usefulness is underused. People don't realize we need to do a lot more, I think, with the help on that, but we'll be working on that too.
Absolutely. All right, well, next plugin I've got for you, the final one we've got for you here today, this is called Simple XML-RPC Disabler. This is a brand new plugin I discovered in the WordPress repository. And for those of you out there that understand a bit of coding, disabling the XML-RPC is an important aspect on many WordPress websites. The XML-RPC is a security risk. Unless there's a specific reason that you need it for your website, it is always best to turn this off. And there's not a lot of reasons that it is needed. And the vast majority of the websites don't need XML-RPC. Now, to get rid of XML-RPC is relatively straightforward if you understand a bit about code, jumping into the WP config and the htaccess. You got to dump a couple of lines of code in to disable it. Simple enough, but if you're not comfortable with code or you're just learning or you're new, it's easy enough to break things when you're in the WP config or the HT access, or even if you know how to do it and you just don't want to be bothered going into to write the code. This is a simple plugin. You install and activate, and it completely disables the XML-RPC. A very simple plugin, very straightforward, does one job and one job very well. Go check this plugin out, and it is, as I said, brand new. I think they put it in a repository a week ago. So go check it out. Other XML-RPC disablers don't always do a complete job. This one actually does. So go check this plugin out, the simple XML-RPC disabler, and I give it a 5 dragon rating. There we go. So that's our plugins here, and real briefly, this show is still brought to you by Save Time and Money Managing Multiple WordPress Websites. If you have several WordPress websites to manage, either for your clients or yourself, then you know how much time it can take managing them all. Time that is spent on mundane administrative tasks and then losing that time for your important business tasks. CMS Commander is an online service that solves this problem and makes managing multiple WordPress websites fast and easy, as simple as controlling a single site. By placing all your websites in one powerful dashboard, CMS Commander makes it possible to update, backup, and manage them all at the same time in one place. Features of CMS Commander include one-click updates of plugins, themes, and WordPress core for all sites, automatic scheduled website backups, website cloning and restoration, uptime monitoring and analytics integration, bulk posting and automatic content. Sign up now for your 14-day trial at cmscommander.com and access all the features that will allow you to manage more websites and save time. Absolutely. And as I've mentioned many times, I've been using CMS Commander for about 9-10 years now. Great plugin. Been using it since it was new. It's grown up quite nicely and strong. And please use the links in the show notes. It's an affiliate link. They don't actually pay me for that ad, but I do make a few bucks off of it. So go check it out. All right, and finally, we don't have any listener feedback this week, unfortunately, and this is where I said it's been a slow week, so I look forward to you, the producers out there. Send me some listener feedback. Let me know how the show sounds, what you like, dislike, ideas, information, tidbits, tips, anything that helps the rest of the people in the community out. And finally, I do have a contest this week, and the contest is powered by the Simple Giveaways plugin, who were kind enough to provide us with the premium version of their plugin for our giveaways. A really great plugin, another one I've been using since it was a brand new plugin, and it's grown up quite nicely over the last, I think they've been around for about 3 or 4 years now, and it just keeps getting better month after month. And the new contest is, of course, the giveaway for the Event Espresso license. And it's a big thanks back to Martin, who won this license but couldn't use it and donated it back to the show. And it is a license valued at $300. This is for Event Espresso Everything or the Event Espresso Developer license. And Event Espresso is quite the system for having conferences or online community or online events, not only online but offline, selling tickets, selling add-ons, selling all kinds of things that go with your events. Really great plugin. As I mentioned a couple of times, I used it years ago back when it was brand new and it was pretty good. Then they went through a phase where they tried to pivot and it became hard to use. I came back to it last year when I had to build out a conference website, and that was a plugin they chose to use, so that's what I used, and it turned out it was so much better than I had remembered it the last time I used it that I can actually recommend it now. Got a great interview online with Seth Schultz from Event Espresso. I've actually got 2 interviews in my archives, one recently with him and then one about 7 years ago when he was brand new and developing this plugin. You might want to check those out for a comparison. But go check it out. Go sign up for the contest. All we need is your name and email address. Share it out with people. Get additional entries into the contest. Win yourself this. And go check it out at WPPlugins A-Z.com/contests for more information on it. All right. And that covers up. We'll just real briefly, Marcus, before we close out the plugins we covered, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show, as challenging as it was today for getting your technology to work.
I thank you for your patience and for inviting me.
Yeah, not a problem. I'd love to have you on the show again another time, and we'll be a little bit more prepared for it. We weren't overly prepared today, but hey, it's fun to do things on the fly. And don't run away with me after I get the hit the credits for show notes. I just want to have a brief chat with you after the show.
Oh, sure. And don't settle for just the free version. I'm going to send you a product key.
Hey, well, hang on to a product key, and we can enter it into a contest too.
Okay.
There we
Maybe
go.
two.
There you go,
one
folks.
For you and one for a contest.
There we go. There you go, folks. You got a little sneak preview there. We got another contest coming down the line. All right, so we covered up in this episode. We covered up the Formidable PRO2PDF plugin, which gave a 5.2. The Advanced Access Manager, which I gave a 5.2. The E2PDF Export to PDF tool for WordPress, which I gave a 5.2. And the Simple XML-RPC Disabler, which we gave a 5.2. And real briefly, a couple of quick reminders. The WordPress meetup that I was going to do online tonight, I've decided to cancel, mainly because I didn't have time to properly prepare for it. And actually, I'd rather be out in my garden anyway this evening. So that's where I'm going to head. But there is two more that are scheduled, one for June and one for July. And while they're not actually scheduled to be online meetups or actually give information, they were just social events. We're going to see if we can figure out how those events will go forward now that BC has opened up its restaurants for meeting people again. Maybe the group levels will increase by the time we have this. Right now, you can currently go out in groups of up to 6. So go out to dinner, have fun, meet people. So the world is coming back to some semblance of what we used to do. I hate the words normal and new normal. They just don't fit my vernacular for some reason. But I will do some other things for the online meetups. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it as things change and get better for it. So stay tuned for more information coming from that. Just want to let everyone know that has been canceled. I do have interviews that I haven't published yet. They will get published. I finally got myself some additional help in my office again. I've got an office assistant right now who thinks she's going to take over my business. We'll see about that, though. So at any rate, the new interviews will be posted starting next week. And if you want to be interviewed for a show in a separate interview than here on the podcast itself, the interview show is more in depth. Just sign up for the interviews at WPPlugins A-Z.com/interview. And if you want to know more about me and about why I'm in my garden, go check out theroguestavern.com, where I'm posting all my videos about how I'm converting a backyard from a big patch of useless grass into an edible urban forest garden. So it's starting to come along quite nice, or you can go check me out when I'm out on the gun range. So that's pretty much all I've got for you today. So I'm going to wrap it up and let my girl take us on out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show
Oh, and there I
notes can
am,
be found
forgetting
at
my tequila shot again.
www.plugins.com.
She gets mad at
And
me
while
when I
you're
talk
there,
over her.
subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wpplugins.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsa2z.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A-Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Alrighty, so we'll call it a wrap there today for the stream on, folks. Greatly appreciate everyone that showed up and everyone stuck around for the whole show. I'm really, truly impressed. Thank you, everyone. All right, you all have a great one. We'll see you next week for the show. So that's it for the stream. Don't run away on me, Marcus.